Hi everybody, welcome to your final project for strength and conditioning using the Explain Everything app. For those of you who have never used Explain Everything, this first slide just shows you all the different things you can use the tool on the toolbar. It shows you how to record, how to mix, how to change slides, add slides, export your file, all that good stuff. You all will have access to a few more videos that go into further detail on how to use and create projects on Explain Everything. But for now, I just want to show you basically what you'll be creating as your final project. The first slide of your project will just be a title slide. You'll include your name, block, date, and a title for your project. You can add pictures or animations if you'd like, but this will be the first slide of your project. Okay, this will be your second slide of your project. This is the clean. You'll have a clean rubric on this slide as well as your clean video side by side just like they are right here. Now, you guys will have this all set up just like I have it on the screen before you start recording. So that way, as we're grading these, we don't have to watch you insert the rubric, insert your video, highlight the areas that you did good, fair, or poor, all that stuff. So you'll have all that done before you start recording. That way, once you do start recording, you can just talk about it as you go along. So in this rubric, you'll see that there are 4 different parts. There's the starting position right here, liftoff, triple extension, and then down here is the catch and finish. I'm going to start up here where it says starting position. I'm going to grade myself. I put 0-1 in blue because that's the point at where he's in his starting position. So his feet are shoulder width apart. So I gave myself a mark on that. Shoulder slight in front of the bar. And you guys don't have to add every single highlighted dot like I've done. If you see 3 things and you just have 3 dots, that's fine too. As you move along, you are able to scroll forward. So the liftoff is at 2 seconds. I'm going to move forward. Here's his liftoff. I'm watching for all these things that I have highlighted over here as he's doing his liftoff. As you're recording, you guys can show us this too on the video. Okay, you can pause it at specific points. Okay, let's try to get it into his triple extension. Right there. Right there. Okay, so I can highlight those points on the rubric as he's in triple extension. And you guys are going to pause that for us to see too at that specific point. You can use the laser tool to say, okay, he's straight up and down. He's extended here. Knees you can't really see, but he's extended at the hips too. And finally, we're going to scroll to the catch and finish. So I went to the 3-second mark where he's at his lowest point in the catch. And I looked through my rubric. His upper arms are somewhat parallel to the floor. Okay, not completely, so I gave a fair mark on that one. Once you get done with all of this, you're going to go through, look at your rubric and say, well, I gave myself 3 highlights in the fair point, so I'm not going to get 12 out of 12. So therefore, final score, I'll give myself a 10 out of 12. And you're going to write the score at the bottom and circle it just like that, so we know what score you're giving yourself at the end of the clean. At the end, talk about whether or not your clean max went up or down and why you think it went up or down. Talk about your technique. What are some things you do really well? What are some areas that you need to work on? And then finally, just tell us the overall grade you gave yourself. Okay, slide 3 will be your squat video. You will do the exact same thing, the exact same steps as you did for slide number 2. You'll have your rubric already highlighted and graded before you start recording and talking about summarizing your squat technique. So probably the first thing I would do when I get to this slide and I start recording to show the teachers, I would say, this is my squat video, and play the video. And after I played the video, I could then start talking about the different sections of the rubric. I could say my form was good because my hips and feet are directly under the bar. And that's when I could start going to the exact spot where my hips and feet are right under the bar, using the laser tool to show that in a straight line, okay? On this rubric, grip is one of the sections of the rubric. Obviously from this angle you cannot see grip at all, so I just completely crossed that out, and instead of having my score out of 12, I'm just going to make my score out of 9. I could jump down to the execution downward. I highlighted something in the pour section, so I want to show that on my video, so I paused it at the spot where you can see that the weight shifts forward and his heels are coming off the ground. If this were my video, at the end I could say my squat max stayed the same. It might be because I have a few technique errors that I still need to work on, such as my heels lift off the floor slightly, my thighs aren't quite parallel to the floor, and as I'm coming up my chest caves slightly. So for those reasons my squat max might not have gone up this time. On the next slide, I'm just going to show you how it would look and sound as if this were your project and you are doing it. I'm not going to do any explanations or anything. So the next slide, which is the bench press, I'll just get right into it as if I were a student turning this in to my teacher. This is my bench press 1 rep max. I successfully lifted 185 one time. On form, I gave myself 3 points because my eyes are directly below the racked bar, as you can see here. I also gave myself a 3 on grip because the bar was grasped evenly with a closed pronated grip. On the way down, I was under control and I lightly touched the bar to my chest. For that reason, I gave myself a 3. On the way up, the bar was controlled and went slightly backward, as you can see in this video. Overall, I gave myself a 9 out of 9, and because of my good technique and execution, my bench press max went up this time. Okay, on slide 5, you are going to have 2 videos, your vertical and your sprint. You will first show the videos in their entirety and discuss the technique and whether or not you improved or declined. Then you will get each video as close as you can to triple extension and pause. So this is what I have done right now. You will draw a line down the center of the body, like I've done here. Okay, that red line, and over here. You want that line to be straight. That indicates that you are in full triple extension. Okay, assuming that these 2 videos were the same person. Okay, over here on his vertical, he's in full triple extension. It's a straight line from the top to the bottom. Over here on his sprint, you can tell that it's not a straight line. It curves. His hips are flexed. They're not fully extended. Okay, so he's not in full triple extension on that one. You can see the difference with the lines I've drawn. You are then going to tie in your strength index data. So you will look at your workout sheet. You're going to look at that little box up at the top middle that says strength index data. You're going to look at your squat, your clean, and your jump strength index. You're going to look at the data, and then you're going to look at the goal. Are you where you're supposed to be? Why or why not? You'll discuss whether or not you get into triple extension on your vertical jump, on your sprint, and on your clean. And if you do get into triple extension, or if you don't, how will this affect your strength index? And where are you in relation to your strength index goal? Are you above, below, right on? And why do you think that is? Okay, on your last slide, it's going to be a summary slide. You can set it up however you want. You don't have to do the arrows. You can do bullet points if you want to, but basically you're going to summarize your entire project. My clean max went up or it went down because blah, blah, blah. I had good technique, except I could have worked on blah, blah, blah. Okay, same with your squat, same with your bench press. And then you'll discuss the vertical jump and sprint start as compared to your strength index for the clean and squat. You're then going to summarize your strength index, the current data, your goal, and what this means regarding your overall strength. And finally, just talk about, something you maybe would like to work on, or something that you would like to learn more about in regard to strength and conditioning going forward in the future.